Hello, people of the internet. It looks like this may be a Lugia V-Star mirror match this time. Looks like we have a Lugia Star on the left and a Stone Journer single strike on the right. We are flipping for the Capturing Aroma. It is a Tails. That means we get a basic Pokemon instead of an evolution Pokemon. We are going to get the alternate art Lugia. Looks like this is a round 9 match. So this will be one of the later ones that I uploaded. In the last one that I recorded, I did decide that I was going to upload these in order of what round they are, instead of which order they were actually streamed, because this is like the 15th game individually that I have recorded, but the last one was a round 4 match. So I'm not sure how they're choosing how these go up. I'm pretty sure that they were 2 different pods that they were doing, but either way. So we are going to see, looks like we are actually identifying prize cards, so love to see that from this player on the right here. We are playing the single strike Tyranitar version of the deck, likely from both players. We do have a couple single strike energies in hand, not ideal. Would have been nice if Oranguru did not rotate. But what are you going to do? You're going to have to judge those cards back into your hand. That's another reason to play high counts of Judge in Lugia going forward after this rotation. It looks like we're still prize identifying here. So I like that. It seems like some of the more skilled players are the ones that are prize checking. So we get that Lugia down. Always want to get one Lugia V down on your first turn when you go first. And we are switching over to the other Lugia V player. We are going to see if they are able to get a second Lugia V down, just because if your first one gets knocked out, you are going to still need another Lugia V in play to be able to evolve that. We're going to go for the turn 1 Professor Burnett, which will allow us to discard 2 cards from our deck to the discard pile. We are likely going to be choosing 2 Archeops. Seems pretty safe. You can use Burnett late in the game to just thin your deck of dead cards that you do not want to draw into. But yeah, looks like we might be identifying prizes a little bit here too, just because we saw that deck search took a little bit longer than you would think, just for 2 Archeops. We're doing a real shuffle and a Japan shuffle in combination, which I do like to see from these players. And the opponent is dictating how they want the deck to be cut, because they can't touch each other's cards. They have a giant wall of plexiglass in between them. We are going to see the gift energy attached and pass, so we do not have the optimal start here for the Lugia deck. As long as this other one here on the right has something along the lines of Escape Rope, the Lugia V-Star, and maybe the Burnett, we will just see the game be won here. We are going to go for Messagosa. We are going to flip a coin. If heads, search our deck for a Pokemon. Looks like it may have been Tails, because we're not seeing that search happen here. We have an interesting decision here. It looks like we don't really know quite what we want to do. You'd think if he had the game, he would just go for it, but it looks like we do not have the game. Really thinking here. You, of course, want to play a lot faster than this when you're in Japan's format. You will have 25-minute best of 1, and if you tie, it is a loss for both players. Both of these players are 6 and 2, so this most likely may be a win and in to get into day 2. I'm not sure if the round 2 Swiss has a cutoff or not, like we do. I do know that it is a top 16 cut, though, for the second day to get into the top cut, so top 16. We are going to see a Nest Ball that will likely get us either a single strike Tyranitar or another Lugia V, maybe. Yep, that gets another Lugia V here. I think there is a V-Star in hand, but he may not have the Archeops or the ability to get the Archeops in the discard pile here. We are going to go for a Capturing Aroma here as well. We are going to flip Tails. That will get us yet another basic Pokemon. That's not going to be able to get us the Lugia V-Star if I was wrong, and that's not in hand. I can't really tell what that was. I saw it too fast. I want to say Radiant Gardevoir, but I could be completely wrong because it's not on screen at all right now. Let's see. We're probably going to bench whatever we just searched. So, all right. Looks like it was a Radiant Gardevoir. And we do have the Lugia V-Star. We're just going to evolve into that and pass because we have no Archeops to get out. So we are going to make our... we are going to make our opponent... Well, we are going to use our opponent's Mesagosa Stadium card to try to search our deck for a Pokemon. But, of course, we flip Tails. So neither player is going to get the benefit of this. That is a 25% chance that both players flip Tails. And we are going to bench Luminion anyway. We're going to search our deck for the awesome Professor's Research Juniper art, the best art in the game for Professor's Research. I still prefer Professor Juniper myself. Professor Juniper is the best card in Expanded. Much better than Professor's Research, Professor Juniper. Although it is a close second. We are going to attach for turn a double Turbo Energy. And we are going to play that Research, discarding Boss's Orders, Roxanne, and a couple other cards. So that might come back to bite him in the future. But as long as you are the first one to Summoning Star, you usually are the first one to win the game. Not always how it works, but again, that's what it would have been nice to see, like the nuts from the player on the right here. If they had the escape rope, they would have just been able to win on their second turn. Alright, so we see the evolution to the Lugia V-Star now. We are going to be able to use Summoning Star to get out 2 Archeops. And now we have the ability to Primal Turbo some special energies to our Pokemon. So we are going to be getting Single Strike energies. We are going to be putting those onto the Stonejourner. I think we're going to be trying to knock out their Stonejourner with ours, so that if the opponent does come up with the Lugia V-Star and tries to knock us out, they're only taking 1 prize card as well, and we can keep these prize cards tied up. And since we are the first one to take a prize card, as long as the prizes are always tied, we will be able to stay in the lead the entire time. And we do take that knockout. Using that second attack, I believe. That first attack, I don't believe would be doing enough. It would be doing 30 plus 30 for the stadium, plus 20 for each strong energy is 68. That would be 100. The Stonejourner, I believe, has 130. So you have to use the second attack, which is more than enough. You can't use that second attack in consecutive turns unless you were to switch retreat, which is perfectly fine. So we are searching our deck for that Archeops. Hopefully we have a way to discard it. We need to get the double Archeops this turn. If we only get 1 Archeops and are the second person to get Archeops into play, you basically just lose the game. It makes it very much an uphill battle, especially since the Lugia deck becomes a lot more straightforward going into this new standard format. When you rotate all of the Aurora energies away, it makes it so there are a lot less options. You really only have the strong energies and the single strike attackers that you can use in order to take big knockouts. And it looks like it may have just been a read the wind in order to discard that Archeops and draw an additional 3 cards. You don't really like to see Read the Wind with that alternate art Lugia V. Although that art is sick, so. Alright, so the Tyranitar V comes down this turn. We are going to be using our Archeops to accelerate single strike energies to it. It looks like we're going to go for 1 V-Guard and 1 single strike energy. We can always retreat the single strike energies off of the active Stonejourner and play a Urn of Vitality in order to shuffle 2 of the strong energies, single strike energies back into the deck. But we are just going to be going for the first attack with Tyranitar, it looks like. It will allow you to... Oh, no, the second attack, because we are attaching an energy for turn. So we do have 2 strong energies here, along with 2 colorless energies. Will allow us to attack for 240 plus 20 for each one of these single strike energies is 2, 4, 6, 8, 280. I believe minus 20 for resistance will still be 260. And we do have the V-Guard energy. We have a regenerative energy on it, which only works if you attach it from hand. You heal 100 from your V Pokemon. But that is perfectly fine. I believe he's trying to look at his opponent's discard pile here. We're going to look at the prize cards here. Looks like nothing super relevant in the prize cards for either player, but of course we only have 3 prizes left for 1. So we are going to see the Capturing Aroma flip yet another Tails. Lots of Tails on these Capturing Aromas in this particular matchup here. We are going to grab another Lugia V. We are afraid that this active one may go down, but we definitely have to Summoning Star this turn, or else. I don't think that there's literally any way that you could recover if you do not get Summoning Star off for 2 Archeops this turn. Even if you do it for just 1, like you have to do it if you have to, but you're not going to be winning the game with just 1 Archeops. Not when you're already 3 prize cards behind. You need to get 2 Archeops in the discard pile, bring them both out with Summoning Star, and then Roxanne for any hope to come back into this game. And of course, we see the Summoning Star for only 1 Archeops. The one that was put into the discard with Read the Wind. We are going to put down the Lugia V as well, and we are going to Nest Ball for yet another basic Pokemon to be put directly to the bench. Otherwise, we are just going to fail it. Looks like we are going to go for that Tyranitar V now. We do have the 1 Archeops, so we can start charging this big boy up. Looks like we are going to go for the Lugia. Since the Lugia is active, it does have the resistance to... Actually, no, it doesn't resist the Tyranitar, because Tyranitar is a dark Pokemon. I keep thinking of the single strike energies as strong energies, and they only work on... Strong energy only works on fighting Pokemon, and the Stonejourner is a fighting Pokemon, but no. The Tyranitar is a darkness Pokemon, so we are doing 280 with Tyranitar right now, so we're just going to have to see if we can get through the V-Guard energy, if we have something along the lines of a Choice Belt in this deck, or if we just manage to earn a Vitality 2 of the strong energy, single strike energies back into the deck. Oh my god, I'm going to be doing that for such a long time. Then we might be able to get the knockout. Oh, but we just have the Serena. We will just bring up the Tyranitar, and we will be able to take 2 prize cards off of that. Discarding another 4 cards off the top of our deck is the downside to using the Tyranitar as an attacker, but that is just fine. You are now at 1 prize card remaining. You did not have to worry about that V-Guard energy. And now you are yet again 1 boss's orders away from winning the game. So we should still have access to 1 Luminion when our first Pokemon in the active here goes down. We should have another bench spot for Luminion if we don't already have the boss's orders. And we will be able to knock out any one of these Pokemon here. Oh, although we do need 1 additional strong energy because of the Radiant Gardevoir I keep forgetting about. Your Pokemon V is going to take 20 less damage from attacks due to that Radiant Gardevoir. So we do have the Capturing Aroma yet again flipping Tails. Again, lots and lots of... has anybody flipped a Heads in this matchup yet? I think maybe 1. Yeah, I think there was like one heads flip, and that was it between the two players. We're going to capturing Aroma for the Tyranitar V. Do we bench it? I think you have to start charging it up. But you've already used your one and only Archeops for the match already here. So this is looking very unfortunate. He flips the coin, it goes directly off of the table. Flips his opponent's coin, goes directly off of the table. Flips a coin yet again, still tails. And is just going to knock out and discard the stadium at the same time with the Lugia. We are going to promote the other Lugia here. So we are going to take, it looks like, our first 2 prize cards here for the player on the right. We will have to see exactly how will we be able to win this game. Do we have the ability to get the Illuminion for the boss's orders to bring up the Archeops and take the game? So we are going to Nest Ball. That will allow us to at least look at our deck. If we don't have the ability to get Luminion, we could always just put something from our deck onto the bench, like another Stonjourner or another Tyranitar. They are usually playing 2 of each in this deck. We're going to go for yet another capturing Aroma. And there's a heads. All right. Odds were that one of those had to be hit at some point. We are going to grab yet another Archeops. Probably just to discard with an Ultra Ball. Yes, it is. Yeah, so I think the game plan is just go for boss's orders, charge up your Lugia, knock out a single prizer. Oh, looks like we do not have access to another Luminion, so we are just going to go for an Ultra Ball for a Lugia. Oh, we already have the Luminion in play, so never mind. We are just slow rolling our opponent. Oh, no, we don't have a boss's orders. So either this person is misplaying or they just don't have the cards to do the play that they want. Alright, so we are going to go for the research instead. I mean, this is still not the worst. You can just 2-shot their Lugia, even if they 1-shot yours. Somehow, you're still only needing 1 prize. You can 2-shot their Lugia just fine. But the thing is, you're going to have to start setting up an additional attacker here. So the research will find the Urn of Vitality, both of them it looks like. So you are going to be shuffling in all 4 single strike energies back into the deck. You will then be able to use the Archeops to charge them back up onto the Stonjourner. And you do need to attach something to your active Pokemon so you can attack this turn. Unless you want to retreat and attack with something else, but I don't think that's the way you want to go about it. So it looks like we are going to get the double turbo energy to the active Pokemon. We are going to be hitting for 190 because of the V-Guard energy, which is perfectly fine. Do not really care about that. And we have 4 strong energies we can put onto the Stonjourner next time to finish off the KO. Oh no, 170. Right? Oh no, it is 150 because I forgot the Gardevoir again. So we're doing minus 20 because of the double turbo energy. We're doing minus 30 on top of that because of the V-Guard energy. So that's minus 50. Minus 70 total because of the Radiant Gardevoir. So that is a total of 150. I've seen a lot of damage reduction in this format. We've seen the Rocky chest plate. We've seen a lot of the Lake Acuities. We've been seeing quite a few Radiant Gardevoirs. Damage reduction effects are starting to really come to the forefront in the format, which is very interesting to see. And of course, Goodra is still a thing, so there's that too. Says the music. Looks like we're considering a retreat here. We might be going in with the attack with the Tyranitar or with the other Lugia. I think the other Lugia is probably the best bet, because I don't think your Tyranitar can one-shot this Lugia. I don't think you have enough single strike energies. So you're doing 280 minus 30, yeah. So you do not have enough here on the Tyranitar. So retreat into the Lugia is the correct choice here. We are going to use Tempest Dive, likely discard the Stadium as well. Make sure your opponent has the least amount of options to take the knockout. Oh, or better yet, you can play the Collapse Stadium and discard your damaged Lugia. And then Research. Forces your opponent to discard a Luminion, but that is fine because they still have one more Luminion in play. So you can potentially chase those Luminions in future turns. We are going to earn 2 single strike energies back into deck. Game's a little closer than you would expect after that awful start from the player on the right. Having to take multiple turns to get Archeops in play and then eventually only getting 1 the turn after your opponent gets 2, just very rough. Again, not sure what that card is. It's hard to tell because I have to go by the artwork and I'm not familiar with all of these artworks. Looks like it is I mean, it's obviously a Darkness Pokemon. Maybe that's some sort of Eviltal. Looks like it might be a single strike Eviltal? Is that a thing? Is there such thing as a single strike Eviltal? Aha! Yes, it is. See, I figured it out. Dark Cutter for 2 darkness does 50. For 3 darkness, single strike Wings does 110. Yeah, I recognize the Oblivion Wing artwork. And we just see the Serena for what I believe to be the game here. We have a fully charged up Tyranitar. We are going to Serena up their Tyranitar. So this player on the right did discard their damaged Lugia with the Stadium in order to prevent the opponent from being able to do this play on that Lugia, but they still put down a Tyranitar and loaded it up. Now the thing is that they could have avoided doing this on that turn they played at the Collapse Stadium, maybe played something else down like how they did with the Evital here. Maybe if they had like another Stonjourner or something, they could have benched. Then they could have knocked out the only other Lugia that's on the bench, leaving it so there's no 2 prizers on the bench so that the opponent here could not do that play. But because of the fact that they only had 1 Archeops, they were forced to go for the Tyranitar now so that they could start charging it up before they needed to attack with it, because they know that they're likely going to have to use 2 Archeops charges to get 4 single strike energies onto it. And we just see this Tyranitar basically comes out of nowhere, gets all 4 of those single strike energies that were earned back into the deck. You see the Serena to bring this up, and you're going to hit for like 320 or something. Absolutely crazy. And that is the game, guys. So do not forget, as always, to comment, like, and subscribe. Do not forget to feed that YouTube algorithm so that the YouTube algorithm feeds everyone else. And we will see you guys next time. And don't forget about the Twitch and other social links in the description box below. Bye.